All right, are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Vibrations and Libations. I'm James.
I'm Keith.
And tonight we're listening to the newest release from the group Circles Around the Sun.
Let It Wander.
Let It Wander is the title. If you're familiar with Chris Robinson Brotherhood, you may be familiar with Circles Around the Sun because two of their members, and actually I guess one fill-in member, plays on this album. So of course Neil Casal is the guitar player, Adam McDougall plays keyboards, Mark he called him Mark Levy, and then Dan Horn, right. is the drummer.
Dan Horn is the bassist.
Is the bassist.
Mark Levy is the drummer. James is confounded.
All messing this up. I've had a couple beers and a whiskey or two, and
it's okay, James. We're at your house.
Getting ready to have another beer. So speaking of that, tonight's beer selection is Necron 99 by Three Floyds.
We are some Three Floyds fans.
We are some Three Floyds fans, and we don't know what style beer this is.
It's either an IPA or a Scorch style ale.
So if you can tell me what a Scorch style ale is, please leave it down below in the comments after you leave us a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that. Subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate that. So, a Scorch style ale. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I think it's just a play on words from three guys at Three Floyds. I don't think it means anything.
They probably said, let's just name it this and make two guys that's doing a YouTube video ask the question, what the hell is a Scorch style ale?
Right.
Alright, so anyway, okay, so Keith, tell us a little bit about the album here tonight.
Well, Circles Around the Sun began as they were asked to do some recording for the Dead and Company's Fare Thee Well tour.
Right.
And so they laid down a whole bunch of tracks, and actually they put out an album called Interlude for the Dead, which James has, and is a great album in itself.
It is.
And then they couldn't deny their chemistry together, so they got back together. They had a little time, about approximately 2 weeks, and they just put together a badass album.
Yeah, it was really good album. Interludes for the Dead, of course, it was music recorded to play during the intermissions of, like Keith said, the Dead and Company tours. And it's great. It's more, if you're a Dead fan, if you went to the Dead and Company concerts for the Fare Thee Well tour, and you like that music that's playing the interludes during the intermission, so then get Interludes for the Dead because that's what you were listening to. And I think I've read that they recorded 5 hours worth of music for just the intermissions of the show. Of course, all 5 hours of the music didn't get on that album, but you know, it's still good stuff. And if you are a Dead fan or a Chris Robinson Brotherhood fan, you should check out Circles Around the Sun. I think you'll really like it.
Right. To me, it's totally different than the Brotherhood. It's a little more.
It is.
I don't know. Jazz, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Psychedelic jazz.
Yeah.
Best way to describe it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more free, I think.
Right.
It's just kind of a flow.
Yeah, it's really broad and kind of flowy kind of sound.
And it's all instrumental. There's no vocals on this, so you're just going to be listening to a bunch of jamming, which is awesome.
Right. You can put this on while you're cooking dinner, cleaning the house, anything, reading a book,
drinking beer.
Right.
You know, just anything. So tonight we're drinking, like I said earlier, Necron 99 by Three Floyds. I'm going to go ahead and open this, and we're going to get started on drinking here. There you are. All right, so the information I have on this is, of course, it's Three Floyds. Three Floyds being the best thing that ever came out of Indiana that I'm aware of, anyway. And the ABV on this, the alcohol by volume, is 7.3%. The IBU is 61. And if you go onto the website for Three Floyds, they describe it as an interplanetary IPA. If you go on Beer Advocate, they have it as an American style IPA and then a Scorch Ale. again, I don't know what the hell score shell is, but it's what it is. So, Beer Advocate rates it a 3.89 from their reviewers that they have. Again, a lot of trigonometry and math going on there to get a 3.89, I guess, for an average.
Is there fruit in there?
Beer Advocate says that it's got citrus, hints of citrus.
You can smell it. I mean, it
does smell kind of fruity.
Fruity. It's tasty. I love it.
It is kind of fruity, a little bit of sweet hints, and
looks unfiltered. Very unfiltered.
The bottom of the bottle is kind of cloudy, so maybe, perhaps it is an unfiltered beer. It is pretty good.
That's tasty.
It is. It's
well balanced. It's not pretty clean finish. It's good.
Yeah. I like it. I do like it. It kind of reminds me a bit of Alpha King.
Maybe.
Three Floyd's Alpha King. I kind of get some hints of that in there. Maybe a little bit more tart on the finish. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more bitter on the finish than Alpha King, but
oh man,
I like it. It's pretty solid beer.
It's weird.
It is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I'm stuck. I don't really know what to think about. It's like I like it, but
it's like I
really don't know why.
It's kind of like a wheat beer to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
okay. So I'm a bit taken by this beer. So I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. I was afraid it'd be too bitter and that I wouldn't like it. So, but I do like it. But like I said, I'm not really sure why I like it. It's a mystery.
Right.
I'll have to keep drinking and try and figure it out. Okay, so the track right now that's playing is On My Mind. That's the first track. The next track is called One for Chuck. It's got 7 tracks total. Immovable Object. I'm going to try and say this. Halicarnassus.
Halicarnassus.
Ah, okay. I've been struggling with that all night.
You look at that and you see Halinarcissus.
Yes.
That's what I see. But
every time I try to read
going back to the Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's maybe my dyslexia kicking in there. So then the next track is Tacoma Narrows, Electric Chair, Don't Sit There, which is my favorite track title on the whole album. And then the next and the last song is Ticket to Helix, NGC 7293. I don't know where that came from, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. So this is One for Chuck.
One for Chuck.
So tell us a little bit of the history of this track, One for Chuck.
So One for Chuck is named for Chuck D of Public Enemy fame. And while they were recording this track or playing it back or something, Chuck D dropped by the studio, just showed up. And he said, you guys are real organic musicians. And he said, you can't be replaced. Don't ever forget that. And they took that as a huge compliment, coming from a guy of Chuck D's stature.
Yeah, established performer, entertainer.
Right,
yeah,
they all
absolutely.
respected and everything. Mm-hmm. And so they asked him if he would record a intro to the track and named it after him.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. So, and they have a video for this one. One for Chuck. Yeah. Check it out on YouTube. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, after you've watched this video and given us a thumbs up and a comment and subscribed if you haven't commented, and throw that out there. Go look in the search bar, type in One for Chuck. It's an amazing, psychedelic, trippy video. And I think it'll put a smile on your face.
Right.
So it's really good. So check that out. And like I said, if you're a fan of Chris Robinson Brotherhood, if you're a fan of Grateful Dead, maybe this will open something else up to you that you'll think that you'll like. And
if you like this, Let It Wander, there are a lot of parts of it that remind me of Steely Dan. And so go listen to Steely Dan. If you listen to this and you like it, go listen to Steely Dan.
Right.
And just all kinds of progressive rock. It's just a real broad world. Just like this music is so broad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pillowy and out there. And we were recording before a live studio audience tonight, by the way.
Yeah, my children have decided to come down here and watch us do this. So
we got to keep it clean.
So if you see me doing this, that means they've done something bad. So, all right. So let's talk about. I'm going to just name off my favorite track off the album.
What is it?
My favorite track off the album is the last track on the album, Ticket to Helix, NGC 7293. That's the name of the track. I just think it is, to me, the most awesome track on there. If that track wasn't on here, it would be one for Chuck.
Yeah.
And you know, the song is great, and again, the video is awesome. And it's really good just to, you know, kind of kick back and watch that. So, but Helix, Ticket to Helix is my favorite track on here. Do you have a favorite track on this album? Or is it just all so good you can't pick a favorite?
It is really hard for me to pick a favorite. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Immovable Object. Just because I heard that Immovable Object before I was reading up on the album, and I read the title and I was like, this is going to be a more aggressive track. But no, it's not. It's probably the most relaxed track.
It is.
On the whole album. And I believe it's named Immovable Object for the melody is constant through it. Adam McDougall plays constant melody through the whole thing, so they named it Immovable Object. And one for Chuck is, I mean, listen to that.
It's good.
It's just really so good. Awesome. I mean, Neil really shines in that. I mean, I think they layered his guitar in it, and
it's a song.
Listen. So smooth. Just like this beat.
It gets stuck in your head. It's sometimes I have an issue listening to just kind of instrumental stuff because there's nothing for me to refer back to whenever I'm just thinking about a song, because I listen to a lot of the lyrics in the song and can relate to the lyrics. But between Adam and Neil going back and forth with some keyboards and some guitar, they don't need lyrics on these tracks. They are the lyrics. The guitar playing and the keyboard playing is the lyrics of the album, I think.
Right.
I thought that when I first listened to it, and I thought that when I first listened to Interludes for the Dead. I just thought that Adam and Neil, they just complement each other so well.
Right. And
they're back and forth. You know, even at a live show, I mean, you can just kind of tell that they feed off each other's energy.
Oh yeah.
And I think they're a good pair for rock and roll and for music in general. You know, I think they're a classic partnership right there together.
Right.
Yeah.
Lennon and McCartney.
Yeah. Waters and Gilmore.
Right.
So many different people.
Stephen and Tyler and Joe Perry.
There you go. That, in my opinion, that's a bit of a stretch, but okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so anything else you want to talk about with the beer? Or you want to rate it, or what?
Let's rate the beer.
Okay. You go ahead.
For an IPA, this is a 5 out of 5.
You know what? I'm going to say that as well. Given that it is an IPA, reading online, we're kind of not sure about that, but everything that we've looked at kind of points towards an IPA. I'll give it a 5 out of 5 also. It's a good Three Floyds beer. Again, I was kind of concerned about it at first, and I'm not the hugest IPA fan, as I've stated many times on here. And I like this, and again, I'm not sure why, even though I keep drinking it. It's kind of bitter, it's kind of fruity, a little florally.
It's weird.
It's all the stuff that I don't normally like in an IPA, but I like it. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll give it a 5 out of 5 for an IPA.
Are we going to rate this album?
Well, I think we should.
5 out of 5.
I'll give it a 5 out of 5 too. You stole it right out of my mouth. The production of this album for, like he said earlier, 2 weeks, I think is phenomenal. Now, some people may say, well, they're just jamming, they're not having to put any vocals on it. I really don't care. This is a really good album for 2 weeks worth of work. Now, did they probably have some concepts and some ideas before they went in the studio? Yeah, probably so. I don't know that for sure, but for 2 weeks, I wish I could do something this good in 2 weeks. You know, it's really damn good. So go out and get it.
Oh yeah. Support these artists. Go out and buy their albums.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen and you like it, why not buy it? You know, go on iTunes, and if you like one for Chuck, buy that one.
Mm-hmm.
Buy that one, listen to it all day long.
Yeah.
Maybe the video's on there. Download that on your phone so you can watch it when you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
You cannot listen to this and be in a bad mood.
No.
It just doesn't work.
Right. And after you've listened to it, share it with other people. Share that happiness, share that good stuff, and let other people in on it, because keeping it secret's no good.
No.
So the more people we can, the more people that Keith and I can get to like the Brotherhood or Circles Around the Sun, that's better for everybody. That's what we're here to do. We're here to share new music that maybe you haven't listened to, and beer that maybe you haven't drank in the past. So we would take that as a compliment, if you share down in the comments below, hey, I listened to this, I let my neighbor listen to it, and we both love it. Hey, we couldn't ask for more than that.
Right, and it's a good excuse for our wives to let us hang out together.
Yeah, inspiring the world. All right. So we've rated the beer and we've rated the album. Is there anything else we've got to do?
I think we're good.
I think we're good too. So we're just going to kick back, and I'm going to make my children do some chores here before they go to bed. And then we're just going to kick back and listen to this album and finish these beers off. So
hey, wait a minute.
Okay.
It's a live. It's recorded before a live studio audience,
That's true.
but I hear no clapping.
I don't either. We need some clapping. Hey, there we go. All right.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
And stop. Okay. All right. So for this episode of Vibrations and Libations, I'm James.
And I'm Keith.
And thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, leave some comments, and subscribe to the channel.
Bye-bye.
What?
And